25th African Handball Competition will be starting soon, and Team Nigeria, the handballers, are in camp already ahead of this competition. We just have to look at the fact that they are right now preparing for an intensive campaign as they want to make sure they perform well in this competition. Good one there. Welcoming you on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Now we'll be looking at stories in the world of sport for this evening. Joining me to talk sport is Ibrahim Yusuf. Good to have Ibrahim.
Always nice to be here, Adeni.
How are you doing? You want to play handball?
Yes, that's the thing. I'm gearing up for the handball competition.
Okay, looking at the first story, just a roll out there concerning Nigerian handballers. They will be prepared right now. They are prepared ahead of 25th African Men Handball Championship, and we want to see how they will do well because Coach Raimi over there in France is actually ready to make sure these boys are doing well ahead of this competition. Although he's being represented by Coach Yola here, and they are really performing excellently well in camp. Let's look at the professional list released so far concerning the 25 players in camp. Talking about the Team Nigeria, the goalkeepers, we have Oladunyi Ademolugbe, police machine player, Michael Solomon Agbaji, Okwabina, Confluence Stars, Abbas Mohammed, Bature Sani, who plays for Kano Pillars, and you have the pivots, you have Stephen Sesu for Kano Pillars, Dele Kelvin, and Joseph Igwekere, while the centre back, Obina Patrick, Ibrahim Diko, Emeka Adigwe, Aminu Aliyu, and Atabo Abubakar of safety shooters. They are all there. Left back, you have Chris Ogedengbe of Kano Pillars, Kingsley Okubueke, Flowers of Benin Republic, Anthony Agada of Confluence Stars. You have Owolabi Aya, Sujemarine, and you have Ode Bawun of Niger United. Still looking at this, the list now. Let's still continue looking at the list now, talking about the players. You have right back Obina Ani, who plays Israel, Rotimi Benga, beg your pardon, in Morocco. Right wing, Farouk Yusuf, Benga Cole, who also plays in Morocco. Farouk Yusuf will play with Lomze Vivek Karchi of Poland. I have Osanwoyi Matthew of Kano Pillars. Still continue. Anas Mohammed, the star player, Niger United. You have Aminu Chris and Andrew Ojo also of Kano Pillars. They are battle ready now at the professional list of the handballers ahead of the way you have it in football, like what you call it AFCON. They have it their own in handball called CHAB, and they are preparing ahead of this competition. Good one there. At least you have these boys. They are in camp already. They want to see how they can at least get themselves together to perform better at the Nations Cup.
When you look at that list, I mean, there's one thing that stands out to you, and something that gives me great joy is that
so many
exactly, you just have a few foreign-based players in there, and it's largely made of locally based players, which means our handball league is something to write home about, which means we're getting it right in some ways. So I think it's a very good one for our handball that we can have the bulk of our national team come from the local league right here in Nigeria, and I think it's absolutely impressive. And with the caliber of players that we actually have, handball is something that we should be doing better at. You know, at one point we used to be very good at it, and then there was this lull that we missed the plot of the whole situation, and then everything started going downhill. But now we seem to be on the up, and I hope that these guys can actually do a very good job when it comes to the African Championships.
Hopefully they will do a yeoman's job by the time they get to the African Championship, rolling out the local players there, most of them making that list. That shows that really handballers at home are really doing great exploit. Now let's look at those groups. The countries that will be participating in this competition, although Nigeria being Group C, but we have Group A, we have Egypt, Morocco, Cameroon. In Group B, Algeria, Gabon, Guinea, Kenya. In Group C, where Nigeria will be playing, Cape Verde, Tunisia. And you have Group D, Angola, DR Congo, Senegal, and Zambia. Still looking at the group as the way it is, Ibrahim, you look at Nigeria, Cape Verde, Tunisia, a lot of people will be like, oh, you should be able to qualify, but don't underrate. This is handball, this is not football.
Exactly. Even if it is, no matter what kind of sport it is, I mean, like, you shouldn't really underrate anybody. When you see some things like a group on paper or something like that, yes, you go, the first thing that comes to your mind is definitely we'll win this group, but it doesn't work like that. Most especially when you come to sports like handball. Do we actually know what Cape Verde is capable of when it comes to handball? How many of us have actually watched them play? So we don't know whether they're really good at it or not. But the thing is, they're in this championship. They had to qualify. meaning they had to beat some other nations to get there. So definitely they are good enough to be there. So no team should be underrated. We know that the North Africans are very strong when it comes to handball. Yes, Tunisia, Egypt, Morocco, very, very strong teams. So definitely we know they are up there with the best of them. But the thing is, you have Cape Verde right there. Do you know their capabilities? And that is where you have potential banana skins, because you will underrate them that this is Cape Verde and then we'll go there and we'll blow them out of the water. But it doesn't work like that. So definitely it's going to be tough, and but the boys have to work hard and to be able to get the required results that we need. We really need to have a good run in this tournament so that it will speak well for Nigerian handball. And just like I said, it's a very good thing that we have lots of local players in there. So just imagine these local guys going there and doing the business. I mean, like, they will make a case for other local players in other sports. You understand that we have the potential to actually do this. I really hope that one day in Nigeria, we can actually have a Super Eagles list consisting of 25 players with like 3 or 4 foreign-based players and say that we really have a team.
I'm actually smiling if that was if that be happening, having Super Eagles list, we'll have just maybe 4 foreign players. According to Ibrahim, that would be fantastic. Not that we are saying they are not good, but at least let's give more chances to these home-based players who are really doing a wonderful job. It's not only about foreign players, and there are times they come around, they just bamboozle around the pitch and giving us unnecessary worries. We want to make sure we have more home-based players who are still very hungry for glory. That would be nice if that can happen in Super Eagles the way it's happening in handball. Now we move away from that particular story. Let's talk about the Nationwide League One. Nationwide League One Secretariat we actually released a particular statement concerning a match-fixing plan coming from Group H. They're saying where they have elected NFF and also ICPC anti-fraud unit of match-fixing plan. That's a good one. At least it's better for them to nip it in the bud as it's still growing. They have the plan. As you recall, last year during the same season in the Nationwide League One, where issue of match fixing came up, a particular coach was actually suspended, and now he should not rear his ugly head again this season.
Well, you see, the particular thing about match fixing is right now, most especially now in the Nigerian local league, there's a lot riding on most of these games, particularly because of sports betting. There's lots of money right now in it. Lots of people bet, or lots of people have a lot of money riding on it. So definitely that's when you start seeing things like match fixing come into play. Before we started, or before this gale of sports betting came into sports in Nigeria, we never heard about something like this. Match fixing was really not something we talked about.
It was a foreign
Exactly,
issue.
It was a foreign issue because they were the ones who actually bet on these sports and had so much riding on it. But we didn't have it here. But now that we've come into sports betting now. It's part of our fabric, it's part of society. Everybody, it's a lot of people are into it. There's a lot of money in it. A lot of people don't want to take the chance, which sports betting actually is, because it's a game of chance. A lot of people don't want to make that to take that chance. They want to stack the odds for them. So you see, that's when you have to start seeing issues of sports match fixing coming into play. But the good thing about it is at least they are able to
get information.
Exactly, and to preempt these things and then to try to stop them from happening. They are being proactive when it comes to things like this, which is hardly something that we do in Nigeria. We are hardly proactive. We are mostly reactive to a lot of things. But since we have seen some proactivity in this fair, I hope that going forward we can be able to prevent this from actually rearing its head in Nigeria. Because if we start going down that path of match fixing, it's
and
really,
you know, when something starts in Nigeria,
it's absolutely devastating.
It goes extra.
Exactly. Ours goes haywire, and we do it better than those who actually brought it for us. That's one thing that we have to do. But I really hope that we can be able to nip this in the bud, and hope it doesn't come into our sports, because
a situation where
it will damage Nigerian sports.
Hopefully it won't get there, because we just have to be careful so that the learner will not become the professor. Because when it comes to Nigeria, we always turn this around and become professor to those who actually originated such issue. Well, hopefully the match fixing that has been nipping the ball right now by the Secretary of the Nationwide League One will just stay like that. It won't happen just the way it happened last time. Hopefully everything will go down. Now let's talk about the LMC League Management Company move right now to make sure 2021-2022 ends well. Well, the league is winding up, and well, just 4 matches to go in the MPFL. Well, LMC are doing everything possible concerning issue of security at the pitches all around Nigeria, and also issue of wages, ban, a lot of issues here and there. They just want to make sure at least the season ends well, coming from the LMC.
Well, the league management, they're doing their bit to make sure that the MPFL is where it's supposed to be. And I think this season they have done quite a lot. They have had a lot of things to contend with. A lot of some teams that weren't able to pay wages of their players and all that. They were able to wade in and take some decisions. We had crowd trouble in some stadia, and they were able to come in and officiating and all that, and they were able to try and mitigate most of these things. Administratively, I think the LMC is actually doing a good job. We're not there yet. We're not where we're supposed to be, but I think administratively they're getting it right. The main reason why I want them to get their administrative house together is the sooner we actually get that together, the sooner we can be able to start marketing our league the way we're supposed to, because that's what they're supposed to be concentrating on right now. It's supposed to be branding, selling our league out there so that we can get the investment that we require to rebuild our league to be something that we all can be proud of. And I think if we continue down this path, then hopefully we can be able to get there within the next few years. But right now, they're doing a good job. This season, they have actually tried. They've made a couple of decisions that went down well, and I hope that we can continue down this path so that we can take the MPFL to the status they're supposed to, because right now we're not there. We're not there at all. As Nigeria, where our league is supposed to be better than what it is now. It's supposed to be better marketed. It's supposed to be better received than it is right now. And unfortunately, we're not getting that. So I think once they get their administrative shape into the swing that is supposed to be got, then that's when they can start concentrating on branding and selling our league the way it's supposed to.
Hopefully things just go right concerning MPFL. The remaining 4 matches to go, and LMC are doing everything possible to make sure they fix it right. Well, talking about the issue of insecurity at the stadium across Nigeria, and also not forgetting officiating, wages and all that. A lot of issues here and there, but well, just 4 matches to go, and they want to make sure they prosecute these games well. Good one from the LMC. And also earlier, we talked about the Nationwide League One, trying to make sure they at least bust that particular purported plan to get match fixing imputed into Nigerian football in Group H. Well, we'll wait to see more concerning that. And now, let's talk about a man, although tagged controversial by some, but at times when you look at what he says, it really makes a lot of sense. He was saying that if you look at Africa as a continent, if other nations can allow their players, especially FIFA, if FIFA can allow players from all the countries to stay where they are, not claiming African players to come and play for them by getting them to change their nationality, African teams can win World Cup. He cited France, England, not forgetting other countries, even Portugal, who actually, they've taken so many African players to play for them. African teams can win World Cup. Jose Mourinho with his controversial statement.
No, I think one of the countries that will mostly suffer is France.
Especially France.
Yeah, France will definitely suffer because they have, I think, the largest contingent of original African players that are playing for the French national team right now, you know. And, well, it's something, it's somehow worrying that we can find situations like this where our players are taken to other countries and we know they're originally from here, but maybe because of one thing or the other, they could not represent our countries, and they go and represent other countries as well. It's something that is quite painful, because you have very, very good players that have been taken from the shores of this continent to represent European countries. France and England, they're very, very guilty of that.
Most guilty.
Yeah, the most guilty is France, really. But England, you know, sometimes when you look at an England squad, most especially when you look at it at the developmental stage, under 17, 16, under 21, when you see the amount of African-born players, it will shock you. When you watch their developmental league, yes, that's the under 21s, under 23s, when you watch them and you see the number of African-based players, original African players that are actually playing in those leagues, it's really, really disheartening when you look at it. They have taken away a lot of talent that they have taken away from African shores, and I think Mourinho is actually right. If that talent was actually left here,
they would have played for their country.
They would have played for
Imagine
their country.
Imagine if Zinedine Zidane, Makalele, Thierry Henry,
exactly,
Vieira, all these guys.
All these guys were actually there, not to talk of the N'Golo Kantes of this world and the Paul Pogbas.
Look at Lukaku.
All these
playing
guys.
for Belgium.
Exactly. When you have players like Romelu Lukaku doing the business for other countries, it's really disheartening. When you can make an entire list, a full squad of African players that are playing for European countries right now, and the list is growing bigger. You understand? We have a lot of, most especially Nigerian players. We have a lot of young Nigerian players now. The Karim Adeyemis of this world going out to play for Germany.
Look at David Alaba playing for Austria.
Of course, playing for Austria. You understand? And the list is growing. We have a lot of young players. You understand? Fikayo Tomori just burst on the scene last season, and everybody is talking about
it. Look at Olise.
And exactly, and
Olise
you have
saying, well, maybe you'll play for Nigeria or France.
Maybe or France. You understand? When you have people like Arnaud Danjuma, Grunewald, going to play for the Dutch, you know, these are very, very exciting young players that if we could have been able to get them to play
for our country,
only God knows where we would have been by now. But unfortunately, we have what we have, and we'll play with that.
Hopefully. Well, really, Jose Mourinho was really making a real sense by saying if all these countries, well, in fact, he mentioned FIFA. Well, he said he could be hated for the statement he's making. But the fact is, if FIFA could just say, well, don't let all these players play for your country anymore. Let them play for their country, where they originated from. Then you see an African team really scooping the World Cup. It's very possible. Mourinho making some sense there. And now let's quickly move to talk about some transfer story. We talk about a Brazilian. His name is Anthony. He plays as a winger in Ajax. He's determined to join Manchester United this summer from Ajax. Anthony has been a player that Manchester United wants, and now they want to get him, and he too wants to go to Old Trafford, maybe because of Eric Ten Hag.
That is the thing. That was the point that I wanted to make. I don't think the attraction is Old Trafford. I don't think the attraction is Manchester United. I think he wants to follow Ten Hag. That is the main attraction, and I think that is one thing right now that Manchester United have going for them. This guy has worked with a lot of young players, a lot of young, very good players, and they might feel that loyalty to him to be able to follow him to Manchester United. Unfortunately, right now the club is not where it's supposed to be. It's rebuilding, and no, not everybody wants to be part of a process like that. But the good thing about it is, just like I've said, he's worked with a lot of young, exciting young players, and they might feel that loyalty to actually move to Manchester United with him to continue their development. If not for anything else. And I think that is the attraction for Anthony at this particular point, is Ten Hag and not really Old Trafford.
But looking at the way it is so far, even the transfer window has not been too smooth for Manchester United. Most players that they really wanted to get, they've not been able to at least get them.
But they have
they
have a lot of dead weight that they need to get rid of. That is the thing.
Yes, they need to sell so many players. They need to go first.
Exactly. They have to make a clear out first. But the problem is the players that they want to sell, who's coming for them?
Although they are lucky, Pogba is gone.
That is on a free transfer. That is the thing, because he was able to go and negotiate.
No money was
exactly,
made
he was able to go and negotiate his own contract.
And now news came out.
And they have a lot of dead weight right there. A lot of people who are on contracts that they need to sell. But who is coming for them?
Just before we enter the studio, I saw a particular news that Ronaldo is already trying to see if we will move back to Juventus.
Because of the lack of transfer activity. I mean, like, it's frustrating for a player like Ronaldo, who is at the twilight of his career. We can't run away from that. He's at the twilight of his career. He wants to win a couple of things before he signs out. You understand? He wants to do an Ibrahimovic before he leaves. But the thing is, he's not seeing the prospects. The prospects are not good. The current Manchester United team is simply not good enough. They need additions to be able to make that leap that they are supposed to get back to where Manchester United is supposed to be. But unfortunately, there's no movement. They are unable to sell the players that they have because they have a lot of dead weight that they need to get rid of. Unfortunately, nobody's coming for those players that they want to sell because they are dead weight, and nobody's coming for them, so they're unable to sell. That means they're unable to buy. So definitely for a player like Ronaldo, he will be frustrated by the lack of transfer activity, and you'll start hearing rumors like this that he probably wants to leave.
And before you know it, the rumors actually turns out to be true.
And they materialize to be something else. Definitely. You know, sometimes agents do this. They just send out these feelers.
To try the market.
Exactly. They just send out these feelers to test the waters and then see what happens. Before you know what's happening, one or two clubs will start biting, and then at the end of the day, you'll see a move will materialize at the end of the day.
The news came out that maybe AS Roma, later was PSG, now is Juventus.
There's lots. You see a lot of name dropping now. You know, these agents are very crafty. They're seriously crafty.
And they know
people.
they use they, as you said, after testing the water, they know that okay, Ronaldo at least, even though he's getting old, he's almost there to retire, but he's still one of those hot kids that Ronaldo is available. Let's go for him.
Exactly. He's somebody that you can seriously take a gamble on, and it's not like he's going to be a burden to you. You know,
he will deliver.
He will deliver. He will give you the goals. Look at why he carried Manchester United last season.
If Ronaldo should leave Man United now, what will happen
to Manchester United?
My goodness, because to some extent he has been able to add at least some spice.
If you look at Manchester United's, if you look at their results last season, and you remove Ronaldo from that equation, remove his goals and his assists from that equation, you would not want to see where Manchester United will end at the end.
That's why I love the fact that Rio Ferdinand is always so very truthful to himself and to that club. That Ronaldo really, for him, he has really done well, and he has really taken that club on his shoulder. If he leaves now, there is nothing for the club for now.
The truth is, the current crop of players are not good enough. That is just the truth of the matter. And every Manchester United fan, every Manchester United supporter should actually agree to that. The current group of players are not good enough. Yes, Ronaldo is, you can say, is a person that is the twilight of his career. You can't really build a team around someone like him, because you can't have a project with a person like Ronaldo, because you can't say you have a 5-year project with Ronaldo in it. It can't work because of the way exactly where he is at his particular career right now. But there's a lot of things that Ronaldo can actually give you on and off the pitch. You know, I always say this. We have seen what Ibrahimovic was able to do to AC Milan last season. He didn't play much, but if you need to see behind the scene footages of how he was able to galvanize the team off the pitch. These are the kind of things that Ronaldo can actually bring to the table. Give him the correct crop of players, and definitely he'll do wonders for Manchester United.
Let's see what happened concerning that particular squad Ronaldo issue here and there. Now we go with two more stories before we actually move out. PSG are willing to sell Neymar if right offer comes. Neymar doesn't want to leave PSG, but PSG want to sell him. What a way to go. A player acquired for 200 million.
Well, the thing is, when you look at it, has his outfit been able to justify that huge amount of money that was spent on him? Really, because they bought Neymar with the intention of getting something out of the whole situation, because what they saw, the potential that they saw in Neymar was really higher than what they got. So right now, he's starting to become a little bit of a burden
to them.
You know, to them, because they can't sell him per se, they can't terminate his contract, and who is going to carry that huge wage bill that he's coming with? Because they have already given him a bumper package with a huge amount of money that he actually collects. He wouldn't want to go for anything less. And who will be willing to take up that wage bill? They are trying to get that wage bill off their books right now. And who's going to be willing to take that? I don't think Neymar is at a stage in his career where he'll say, okay, fine, I'll take a pay cut to go somewhere. He will not do that. He'll rather stay in PSG, continue banking his money, and then at the end of the day, he leaves probably on a free transfer. Who's going to come for Neymar now? Who has the money to actually do that? You understand? So that's one of the things that you have to consider. When you buy players like this and they don't give you the what is required, then definitely you'll be in trouble. It's just like the same thing, same situation Chelsea was in with Lukaku. They bought Lukaku for a colossal amount of money. He came, he was not able to deliver, and at the end of the day, they had to ship him back to Inter Milan on loan. You understand? And probably take a serious hit when it comes to their finances.
If Lukaku gets by the time it starts playing now, it seems Inter actually suits him and he begins to score goals. I don't see him coming back to Chelsea.
But definitely he'll probably not come back to Chelsea.
That will be made permanent.
It probably may be made permanent if Inter has the money to buy him, and depending on how much Chelsea is willing to sell.
And how much he actually delivers too. Anyway.
Exactly, because his performance will actually tell whether or not he might get a permanent deal or not, or whether Inter will go all out to say that, okay, fine, we want to buy this player back outrightly. Because these kind of deals are very... They're shocking sometimes. They're really surprising. You buy somebody for a colossal amount of money. It's just like the Pogba in Manchester United. They gave him out for free. They bought him out for 100 million plus, and now he's going for free again. So you can just imagine how the business goes.
The business is always very funny when it comes to transfer. And the last on the log is the fact that Real Madrid Asensio is saying, well, he would prefer to play for Liverpool than joining AC Milan. He knows why. I don't know why he doesn't want to join your club.
Well,
he's scared of Ibra.
He definitely has his own. He definitely has his own reasons. Most likely because he was thinking about the style of play, and be looking at who has the kind of money to pay him the kind of wages that he wants. Milan is quite a frugal team right now. It's not that they don't have the money, but they're trying to build a team.
Let them balance their,
exactly.
their
They're
books
trying
first.
to balance the books and build youth and all that. So they're not going all out to splash the cash to say, okay, we're going to give you monumental wages. Players like Asensio are used to collecting those huge amounts of money, and teams like Liverpool can actually afford to pay him that money. And well, if he can get the contract that he needs.
And it's always, I noticed something with Spanish player. They always kind of perform very well when it comes to Liverpool.
Yeah, I think it's the style of play. I think it's the style, the philosophy.
Them.
I think it suits them. Yes, I think it's more fluid. They get to express themselves the way they want, because Spanish players are really technical players, and I think they have the opportunity to express themselves more when it comes to the style of Liverpool. So I think that's why they prefer to go to Liverpool. And of course, right now Liverpool is a team on the up. Who wouldn't want to go to Liverpool? Definitely you will probably not end the season without winning something. So it's a very good move for anyone who wants to do that.
Not forgetting when Alonso did with that club.
Exactly.
Good one there. That will be it on 360 Sport for this evening. It's been a wonderful time with Ibrahim Yusuf. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Good one. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.